Quando tu the first one on Pallmeyer. Quando tu Pallmeyer says that you're looking at cell phone dependency.
It's not French.
What is the problem? This is I'm from Brazil.
Is that Brazil?
Yeah.
I thought it was French.
And Switzerland. I'm from both Brazil and Switzerland.
Welcome to polysci.org.
Almost there, just one more time.
Welcome to polysci.org.
We were looking at cell phone dependency after receiving a topic from Professor Dwight Pallmeyer. He has a film set to be released in 2018 called Cellular Aftershock. You saw the trailer, so tell me what you thought about it.
Yeah, so the trailer was phenomenal. I hope I get to see the full documentary. It mentioned the viral rap about smartphones, also compelling. You remember that Facebook one with the guy who's talking about how everybody is on their phone and they're getting away from family time and
no. I do not remember this.
Yeah, man, it went viral. It was really good. Anyway, digs into the addiction to phones. ? Is it a behavioral addiction, and it can it be just as dangerous?
I think that's what research suggests. But before we continue, stop being ungrateful. You have a cell phone that is more powerful than the technology they used on the space shuttle when we went to the moon. What's in your pocket is so advanced and it's so awesome that okay, it's gonna come with some evolutionary missteps.
Yeah.
There are gonna be some issues, but we're addicted to it because it's amazing.
It is. It is such a giant leap.
But to be fair, it's not good for us.
Yeah, but at the same time, by the time we figure out how bad it really is for us, who's to say we won't already figure out how to combat it? Maybe we're just worried about nothing right now. Because while everybody is we're not blind to it, which is a good thing. We're not blind to the fact that there could be repercussions to holding this device in your pocket 20 hours a day.
And we really don't know what it does.
Holding it up to your brain 20 hours a day.
Yeah, we have no idea what it does.
No, we don't.
We may look back in 20 years.
We're aware of this could have some possible implications. So let's start researching now to see what we can do to fix that at a later date. And wait for the technology to catch up.
Fair enough. So what did he say?
So in a recent survey of more than 1,500 teachers, around 2/3 said they were aware of pupils sharing sexual content, with as many as 1 in 6 of those involved with as many as 1 in 6 of those involved of primary school age, so elementary school.
Wow.
More than 2,000 children have been reported to police for crimes linked to indecent images in the past 3 years. So the answer being yes, they can be just as dangerous.
Yeah,
it may not.
Right.
Yeah, if it's eliciting this kind of behavior, what's to separate it from other addictions that also provoke illegal or insidious behavior.
Wow. So there was a study by the American Journal of Sexual Education called Prevalence and Correlates of Sexting Behavior in Adolescents, where they found statistically significant correlations between sexting and sexual behavior, substance abuse behaviors, emotional health behaviors, and time spent texting. And the recommendation was for sexting to be addressed by parents, teachers, and mental health professionals who interact with adolescents. So we definitely need to do something. That is what the research suggests, that there's a list of things that come behind just texting or just using your phone. If you're addicted to it and at such an early age, something has to be done. So we have to take a more holistic approach to curbing sexual misconduct in general, especially in the formative years. We just did the podcast on your adolescent years in general, and how it's the pebble being dropped in the pool, where it's there are ripple effects that extend out for years or potentially for your entire life.
So you're saying don't look at the sexting as something innocent because nobody's getting hurt. There's no actual, it's not nearly as bad as it used to be in your day or whatever.
Yeah, no,
but to consider it as a gateway.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that it is. It could be just as bad as before. Granted, our parents didn't have texting, or sexting rather, but these deviant behaviors, especially ones that happen on campuses, they may have been just as bad decades prior, but they certainly weren't reported. So it's I don't know, you can't really compare apples to oranges. Like, they didn't really have the data from back then. The culture was completely different. So I don't know. We're at a point now where we can like handle these situations, and we should. Like, sexting is I don't know. It leads to many other things. It's not just it on itself. You know what I mean? And it would be bad enough if you have primary school age children sexting each other. But like the idea that leads, I know the idea that leads to so many other things later on is devastating.
It's turning that kind of talk and innuendo into something so commonplace that the like the next steps, it's all so disenchanting and minimizing the impact, the significance of sex, that I mean, for it to be happening at an age before they've even hit puberty and even know what girls or boys are, you know, on a sexual level, they're already talking this way, and I feel like it's bizarre in a sense, like hearing children cuss.
Yeah,
like, breaks my heart. It feels so gross. Anyway.
So you had a solution for it.
Well, it's not my solution, but have you heard of Flipped?
No.
It's an app. It's really funny that there's a suggestion to cure a smartphone addiction with an app.
Of course it is.
Well, okay, but hear me out. It's an app that helps get over smartphone addiction by locking you out of your own phone. The features include a free pass, which is 60 seconds to send a text or check Facebook only once per session.
So you only need to see it once, huh?
Yeah, so I haven't checked into it, but because I don't want to do it. But I imagine you can set your own features and your own settings to where if you want to have, you could probably have more than one free pass, or if you need to lock yourself out, there's a safety password to get yourself back into it. An emergency.
That's pretty cool, because we do need a holistic approach, and this is extremely creative. Like, it locks
you clean out for like the certain hours. There's like quiet hours where it's like nope, no phone.
I wonder if we could address like the things that are happening in primary school as well, without like knee-jerk systematic changes. So I'd like for both this app. This app sounds amazing. Like I would like, what is it called? Flip D. I would like Flip D for children. So you can't just be on your phone all day. But like, should there be like psychological specialists available, psychological specialists, psychiatrists, like just someone available, like the guidance counselor that was in your school.
I was thinking
they weren't really
life coaches.
Yeah, but like I would like someone trained and have a Ph.D. in psychology.
Yeah.
For at least one per school. Is that crazy in thinking it should be one per school?
One per school is a lot to expect for the school fundings, but they usually have one floater for the district.
That wouldn't be bad, and
that's what I had.
There's a lot of kids. There's a lot of kids that need counseling, like legitimate counseling. Mm-hmm. Like, lay down on the couch and tell me.
Oh yeah, that's not going to happen at school. But
why?
There's just not enough time in the day.
That sucks.
Yeah, there's just not enough time in the day. They've got to be in the classroom learning, so you can't pull out every kid that needs like a session. Well, what you can do is consult with them. Like, you can, the floating school psychologists get to the schools and they schedule times to meet with the students and kind of do a quick evaluation. But then, of course, them being a minor, they've got to go through to the parents and reach out for their permission to treat. And they set up time outside of school hours for them to come meet with them at an office or at a different location. Or with a different psychiatrist altogether, like a different professional altogether, because that person more so acts as a like a liaison and a resource for mental health. Yeah, I like your idea on it though. Like, definitely maybe less like take the phone and throw it over a bridge, and more like, how can we just redirect the focus from so much on the phone and on the activities within the phone, and more so on the real world activities. Like, if you don't have the guts to approach a boy in a hallway and ask him to the school dance, like, chances are they still have the guts to get on their phone and sext them.
Gosh, I wish that was the worst thing they were doing, was talking to each other in the hallway.
I know.
Goodness.
Anyway.
All right. Well, that's the show. This is your host, Anthony Lindsay.
And Stephanie Moreno.
Download and subscribe to the show on iTunes. Anything you want to say to the fans?
Bye, fans.
Bye, fans.